Uh, how are you doing during this strange pandemic times? Because I'm waiting for my COVID test. I probably will go on 17 days quarantine.
Okay. Well, I think we're doing pretty much as well as you can in this situation. So
Yeah, we are healthy, and well, it's getting kind of worse in Finland as we speak. More infections and that sort of thing, but otherwise it's been, I'd say, easier in here than in many other countries.
yeah.
So far.
Since Mariana's is a relatively young band, let's start with its history. So how did it all start? Who was in the first lineup?
Well, I think it originally started from me and our other guitar player, Harri. We started talking while we were out on bars drinking, and we started talking that maybe we should start playing music together. And some sort of, the idea was some sort of a doomish band, maybe. And we did some demos, and we started looking for other people to play with. And I think this lineup came pretty much pretty soon after. There were a few people who tried out, but then it didn't take off. So we looked around a bit, and then once we got the lineup that was on the first album, I think that was the point when we decided that okay, now we have a band.
Yeah.
And what does the name means?
It comes from. It originates from Marianas Trench, the deep in the Pacific Ocean. The idea was to have the name sound like something deep, something pressurized, something dark, maybe a bit of romantic side to it as well. And it's kind of, I like the idea that Marianas Trench is one of the places that are pretty much unknown to man still. There are not many places in the world left like that, so it's cool to have in your band name that sort of kind of mystery on the background at least. Yeah, we just kind of made a little twist to it because there's no point in having the exactly the same name as the place, the deep, because it would kind of make it hard to Google our band, because there would be a million of geographical hits first, and then our band would come somewhere between the 1000 and 2000
Yeah.
of the hits. So yeah, that was the idea.
And tomorrow you will release your third album, Fata Morgana. So it's a very interesting title, given the fact that the music itself is very dark and the mirrors are only visible in the bright daylight.
Sorry, the line is pretty bad. Can you repeat?
You can hear me better? Hello, hello.
Yeah.
We can hear you, but it kind of
The line clips a bit.
yeah, it clips.
Okay. So tomorrow you will release your third album, Fata Morgana, and I think it's a very interesting title, given the fact that the music itself is very dark and the mirages are only visible in a bright daylight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I haven't really. You're right. Haven't kind of thought it that way, but you're right. Well, the name itself, it comes from the story of the album. It's the main character who in this story, this kind of like the final piece to the story that began on the first album, and the main character who has kind of lost his place in the world and had a mental breakdown. Everything has fell to pieces on the second album. Now he tries to build it again, his life anew, and he takes kind of this long journey to very cold place to the edges of the world, and he, along that hard path, he tries to figure out what went wrong. Why has his life become the way it has? And that's kind of because he's lived in the cold a long time, at least metaphorically. He has become numb, and that's kind of because Fata Morgana happens in very cold places, in polar regions and that sort of thing. So he finds out that he has kind of had a distortion in his view, in the way he thinks, in the way he sees things. He has seen things that are really not there, and that's why he kind of has fucked up his former life. And that's the our Fata Morgana, the distortion that you sometimes can have in your own personal thinking and the way you see things. Yeah.
And who created the moody artwork for the album?
The artwork, it was this Norwegian guy, Kjetil, was Carlsen.
Carlsen, yeah.
Carlsen, yeah. The artwork, it was ready before any of the songs were ready, and I think it was you and our bass player just looking around the internet for some sort of ideas for the album artwork, since we can't draw shit, and try to just figure out what it should look like. And then when we stumbled on Kjetil's pictures, we knew that was the way to go, and we asked him if he wanted to work with us, and gladly he did. And so he has this huge back catalog. It's like, I mean, hundreds or thousands of pictures, and we just started looking around if we found some pictures that would represent each song, and we just handpicked them, and that was it.
Yeah. Actually, can I go back to the previous question a bit, because yeah, it's kind of, although there's kind of this darkness all around in the stuff that we make, we try to have it kind of silver lining, because without the light there wouldn't be the dark. And yeah, we try to have a little, just a teeny bit of hope of something kind of beautiful amidst all the ugly dark stuff. So yeah, I think it's kind of cool that you can kind of see it the way you did. It's not, yeah, haven't really thought about it, but I think it's a good way of looking at it.
And many people describe Mariana's Rest music as a melodic doom death metal, but I couldn't notice that there are many post-metal elements. After all, we've got some long compositions without the typical structure. So do you agree with that?
Yeah, there's definitely post-metal stuff there too. I think it's pretty much all the music we do, it's very subconscious, I think. We don't try to do doom metal or death metal or anything like that. I mean, we drive towards building as good of an atmosphere as possible, and whatever it takes, we'll use it. And I think none of us really think about any genre things when we do the music. Yeah,
the atmosphere is the driving element, the way we towards what we aim. And well, we listen to a lot of different kind of stuff, a lot of post metal in there as well. So it's kind of inevitable that something seeps through into our stuff as well.
Yeah.
So how would you describe the music of Mariana's Rest to someone who didn't hear about the band?
Well, the marketing way is to call it doom, death, or melancholic metal or whatever. But I think it's something atmospheric, extreme-ish metal music. I think something along those lines.
Yeah, it's hard because you have it's hard to put your own stuff into any subgenre or something like that. It's easier to leave it to people who know how to sell stuff. And we don't know how to. Luckily, we have some help there. But yeah, I think I like to have it kind of the melancholic word in it. Melancholic death metal, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
So did the pandemic brought some inspirations for this melancholic stuff?
Well, actually, no. The songs were pretty much ready before the pandemic.
Yeah.
At
least the kind of the foundation to the songs was ready.
Yeah.
But of course, I think the story can have has had a new perspective because of the pandemic, because a lot of our stuff revolves around isolation and feelings of loneliness and kind of, well, the meaning of loneliness. Really, it's loneliness and being alone. They are two different things, and so maybe it has now an extra layer because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So during the creating process for the new album, did you meet face to face during the lockdown, or did you discuss some ideas only through Skype or Discord?
Well, because the songs were pretty much ready before the pandemic, I remember we had this production camp that we always do before recording an album, where we go through the songs with our producer, and that's kind of the final touch to the album. And when they were that ready at that point, I think we had a very, very little communication. But we did one song after the camp. I think it was Advent of Nihilism, I think.
Yeah.
And well, the situation in Finland was in that sort of shape that we were able to go to our rehearsal space and do it there.
Yeah, the lockdown in Finland, there's only been really one bigger lockdown, and that happened just in the kind of between the pre-production and the actual studio. So we had lots of luck there. It didn't affect us. We just the lockdown was lifted when we were in the studio. So, but of course we minimized the people that were in the studio. Normally we just all hang around there and listen to what other guys are doing, but now everybody just went and did their own part pretty much that way.
Yeah, I think the biggest difficulty would come though if there was this lockdown circumstances and we'd have to compose new music, because we pretty much do everything together. I mean, we have some rough ideas, some rough demos, but the actual songs, they are done in a group.
Yeah.
So that would definitely be a big hurdle if that happened.
And where was the album recorded? Was the recording process went smoothly, or no adventures in the studio?
We recorded the album on the same studio we have done all our albums with our producer Teemu Aalto. His studio is in our hometown Kotka. And well, now I can say this time it was pretty easy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was maybe the first record when we didn't have some sort of major malfunction there. Everything just it just kind of everything clicked together really well, and maybe it was because of the songs. I think they were more ready when we went to studio than before, and we had a more better focus on what we were trying to accomplish, and we just everybody. Well, we are a young band still, so every kind of project brings us closer together, and we learn what we should do, what we shouldn't, especially what we shouldn't do. And this time the album came more coherent. We didn't force anything that shouldn't be there. For example, if some one of the songs sounded too light for us, maybe a couple of years back we would probably try to make it heavier, force it heavier, and that's really not a good way to go. But now we just had confidence that in the end it would sound like us, and yeah, that was the right way to go.
So Fata Morgana is going to be a second album with Timo Virkala on violin. So how did you meet? How did it happen that he played on Ruins?
I can't even remember how. I think it was our bass player who somehow got his contact. I don't know whether they know from the past or.
I think they didn't know. We just on Ruins we had a very strong idea that we wanted a cello on the album.
Yeah.
We just had to have one, and then we just started looking for. We don't have any friends, so we have to search the internet all the time. And Nico, one of the three Nikos in this band, he came in contact with Timo, and well, it was so nice and easy and kind of fun to work with him. So we just knew that from the very start when we started making Fata Morgana that he would be on this album as well. And well, people have asked us why not make him a band member. maybe someday we will if he's crazy enough. Because yeah, I think he's kind of a very important element in the songs he plays in. Yeah.
And the second guest on the album is Lindsay Schoolcraft of Cradle of Filth fame. So whose idea was to contact her, and how does this cooperation look like?
We on the production camp we found out that some of the songs they were missing something, which and then we started thinking what it could be, what would kind of make the songs complete, and then the thought of I think it was in Sauna when the thought of this beautiful siren female vocal stuff came out, and our Teemu Aalto, the producer, he had worked with Lindsay before, and he suggested that we contact her, and Lindsay was on board pretty much straight away, and well, she knew just what she was doing. It was pretty scary even that the way we kind of envisioned what we would want, that it would be cool if it would sound like this, and then we had some references, but I don't think Lindsay ever got the references.
I don't know, you know.
Yeah, and well, she just had exactly the same vision as we did, so it turned out just perfect, I think.
Yeah.
And the first song chosen to promote the album was Glow from the Edge. So why did you bet on this composition?
I think after the recordings, we all had the same idea that this would be the song. I think it has some sort of magic. I think something haunting and something I think a bit mysterious to the song. And also I think it is a good song to represent the band to a group of new listeners. I think it pretty much tells what we are about.
Yeah, it doesn't fall into any category straight away.
Yeah.
Well, our band doesn't. I think it doesn't fall into any. We're kind of in the middle of everything. So in that way also, it was a good song. And yeah, some songs just have something that you can't really point your finger what it is, but it just has something. And this was the song, at least we thought so. But we've gotten very good feedback from it, so maybe it was the right choice.
And the second single was South of Vostok, so the last one on the album. So why is it only song in which you can hear Finnish language?
Well, was the question why the Finnish language, or
why is the only song in which we can hear Finnish language?
Why the only? Yeah. Well, I think I've tried to kind of have the idea of Finnish stuff. I like to sing or growl in Finnish because it's a good language for this sort of stuff, and I try to once in a while I try to have my ideas through about using Finnish, and well, my ideas don't always go through. But this time I just tricked other guys to think that this was a good idea. I think it kind of adds a bit mystery to it also, and well, it was kind of it's a poem that just popped into my head one day when I was heading home from work, and it just kind of and then I just thought that it felt the right way to put it in a song. You can't really, it's hard to translate it in English. I tried it. Would it sound better if I translated it? And it kind of sucked balls. so we left it that way. Yeah, it's kind of like an introduction to the song. It pictures the landscape and where the main character is. It's kind of the final destination where he heads and where his former life kind of ends and something new begins. And yeah.
And where was the video clip shot? Because the landscapes are beautiful. It reminds me a little of Isokuro region, if I pronounce it correctly, the ancient burial site in Finland.
Yeah, actually, the video is shot, I think, like 50 kilometers from where we live, just along the highway. We just parked our cars on the side and went on a field.
Yeah,
film it.
Yeah, well, of course, we had these huge pre-productions, days of work, and we were kind of going through all the woods in Finland. That was the best one. Yeah, the locations were, they kind of, we live with Nico, we live in Lappeenranta, and our training camp is in Kotka, which is about 100 kilometers from here. So we drive a lot through Lappeenranta, from Lappeenranta to Kotka, and these places are all on the path of our route. We just kind of, well, we look a lot. From when you look out the window from your car, you can see them, and these spots came into mind when we were thinking about the locations. The cave that's in the video, that's not near the highway. You have to know the place, and we did some old promo shots there a couple of years back. So it's a strange place. People use it. I don't know who uses it, but it's some sort of religious stuff goes on in there. It has a huge cross on the wall and that sort of thing. But yeah, an eerie place. When we did the promo shots, there were like hundreds of candles in there, and I don't know what's going on there. Probably Satanism, and hopefully at least.
So the album opens with Sacrificial and a very interesting quote. So who is the biggest True Detective fan in the band?
Well, I think we'd have to probably fight for it.
Yeah, probably.
I just love Rust Cole. I
Yeah.
think maybe the best lines ever written on TV are from his mouth. Kind of he can make you laugh and think and be scared at the same time. It's so bleak you can't kind of like who makes this kind of stuff up. Yeah, it fits perfectly. The kind of it's so nihilistic, and yeah, our stuff is too. Although well, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like sometimes you when you look at the world, it's easy to lose all hope and faith in men, but I think in the kind of like who we really are, at least I think in the end I believe that I want to believe in man, but sometimes it's really fucking hard. People don't make it easy.
And my favorite song on the album is the longest one, so The Wait. Who created it?
Yeah, the best song.
Who created it? Well, like I said before, it's a group effort always. So I think that song, most of all, it's a result of drunken jamming. I think we had some ideas. I think we didn't even have a proper demo for that song. I think we just started playing it.
Yeah, we had one
together.
riff. I think the main riff that goes on and on and on. That was the first thing we had. I don't know if it was part of some other song, and we just took it up from there because it sounded good.
Yeah.
And then everything else just started come along when we started playing it.
Yeah. But it is composed on the spot.
Yeah.
With the whole group.
Yeah. Yeah, really love the kind of the way it evolves the song. The start is probably one of the heaviest things we've made, and yeah, it has this cool kind of Blade Runner type of keyboards that I really like. Yeah, I like the song too.
And the album is almost out. And what about the concerts to promote it? Any plans for it?
Well, we have a few shows that are still bound to happen, but who knows? I don't know. I think they're all planned to the end of the summer.
Yeah.
Fall. We'll just have to see what we're gonna do.
Hope we can do at least those shows, but everything else has been kind of, well, we had all sorts of plans, but everything has been put on hold, and some have been kind of, some plans have been thrown out of the window, and yeah, it's pretty hard to kind of plan that sort of stuff right now because everything changes daily, and the gigs abroad are completely no chance right now, but hope it will turn for the better during the summertime. And we of course we want to play the new songs, and we will do it in the near future, and kind of have it for people to listen through internet.
Yeah, not probably a traditional stream show, but something along those lines. We'll just have to see how it comes together.
Yeah.
So isn't the live streams something like licking the ice cream from behind the glass?
Yeah, definitely. It's the best of a bad situation, I think. But I've watched a few live stream shows, and I truly appreciate the people making them. It's a huge effort, but still, it's not the same thing.
Yeah, it's yeah. You just kind of something had to be done, and that was the kind of I think the best that could come out of this situation. But it's hard to picture that this thing would kind of become a thing that doesn't go away when the world normalizes. It's pretty expensive. It has kind of all these technical stuff that you need to handle really well, that it doesn't kind of, if the technique fails and people don't get to see it or listen to it when they want, then all hell breaks loose, and it's really not good. So yeah, but I think they've been very important for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So really appreciate all the bands who do it.
And we're heading towards the end of this interview. So tell us, how do you remember the trip to Poland?
Bad.
Yeah, we can't remember much of it.
Yeah.
But what we do remember that we had loads of fun.
Yeah.
Especially at Gruzias, the how do you spell it? Gruzias. Yeah, probably. This small. Well, it wasn't that small, but this industrial town.
Yeah, I think it was northeast.
Yeah, northeast
of Poland.
Yeah, it was kind of. I don't remember being so positively surprised at anywhere than I was when we got to a great gig place. What was it named? What was it called?
Stukateria.
Yeah, Stukateria. Yeah, and great guy who had been living in Britain for a while, and then he came back to his home country and started this to do live shows, and he was just the nicest guy ever, and there was well, a huge turnout. Nobody knew us in Poland. We thought that nobody would come to see us, and a few of the gigs were like that.
Yeah.
But it was crowded, the place, and everybody had a hell of a good time, and people were dancing and drinking and having fun. Yeah, it was a great evening.
Yeah. And all in all, in Poland, the beer was cheap. That was great.
So that's all that I have prepared. So the last words are for you. You can say hello to Polish fans, or maybe promote your new release.
Yeah, well, I just hope to get back to Poland as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I was really pleasantly surprised. Very nice people. Very beautiful country. Yeah, it was kind of bummer to go from Poland to Germany. Scratch that. The people at Napalm wouldn't appreciate it. Germany was really good as well. But yeah, just hope to get back there as soon as possible. To play live and to meet people and have fun together. That's kind of the thing we are hoping.
Well, let's hope we can see each other live on the concert.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Hope
thank you for your time. You're gonna have a video interview right now, right?
Yeah. In a couple of minutes. Yeah, we have to go. Yeah.
So I will watch it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks for the interview.
Bye.
Bye.